Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear students, I am Sayyid Rashid Jillani. I welcome all the students of class 2nd year for the subject of English on the YouTube channel of Multan Public School and College Multan. Dear students, today we are going to learn our next topic, China's Way to Progress, written by Galeazzo Santini. He was an Italian writer. This essay is also taken from your English book 2, part 1, having modern English prose. Dear students, China's tremendous progress in all walks of life is phenomenal. It is exemplary to the rest of the world, and it has surprised even the most advanced nations of the world. Before independence, China was the most unfortunate country under the rules of colonial powers, and the whole mob was having the worst lifestyle without any discipline, and lawlessness was at its peak. The institutions were extremely sick. The whole nation, 1/4 of the total population of the world, was at the verge of complete destruction. That is why the world, especially the West, showed cold shoulders to China, and China remained unrecognized even after the 22 years of her independence. But China introduced a smile policy against the policy of rigid disregard which was introduced by the West. Dear students, it was very clear to the West that the China would be sunk under the whole load of its useless, hopeless, and unethical, merciless ocean of people itself. Dear students, all of a sudden, the emergence of China as one of the most rapidly growing economic countries has attracted the whole world. It becomes a fashion, and the number of official delegates visiting China were more than the people performing Kosi pilgrimage and the people who participate in the traditional Canton Fair. Dear students, Kosi pilgrimage, it is a ritual, it is, you can say, a religious performance, and the people visit to the different holy places. Canton Fair is held in China, and the host of this fair is one of the cities of China, which is called Canton. Dear students, Canton Fair is held only to attract the traders from different nook and corners of the world so that they can promote their articles and goods. Dear students, the writer on a lighter side says, Chuan Lai will end up dislocating his right arm if he goes on shaking it at present rate, with delegates running into hundreds of people at a time, his eyes blinded by the constant flashing of the official souvenir photographs. Dear students, Chuan Lai was the Prime Minister of China. The students, then the China has become a fashion all around the world, and even her opponents, which includes the conservative, old-fashioned sort of politicians and the politicians who remained mediocres during all their political career. They could not keep themselves away from praising the progress of China, and they also started singing the songs of praise for Mao Zedong. Dear students, Mao Zedong was the chairman of Chinese Communist Party, and that party brought about the revolution in China and also won her independence. Dear students, like many other countries of Asia, China can also be not spared from the worst impact of painful colonial history. It had been the intentions of all the colonial powers to devastate the identity, culture, and moral values of the people of the region under their control. The local people were treated as slaves. Similarly, Chinese too suffered a lot and inherited extremely backward economy. The writer used the word Iron Age economy, but also the unrectifiable loss in the form of split culture and split personality. It means they have to restore their cultural heritage and they have to rebuild the character of the individuals, which was made extremely malignant by the colonial powers. Dear students, the Chinese leadership of that time did entirely different and quite untraditional measures for the rescue of individuals. The corrupt individuals always make a corrupt society, and such society cannot restore peace and justice for its people. China rescued her individuals from the aftermath of this unfortunate heritage by newfound companionship, common purpose, discipline of mass organization, just as Vietnamese withstood American technology. Dear students, Vietnam Vietnam is a neighboring country of China. On instigating, the south of Vietnam waged a war against the north, where communists were in power. The war continued from 1945 to 1975. America too plunged in the war on the side of the south of Vietnam, but Americans tasted a very humiliating defeat from the Vietnamese. So China took the same measures to rescue her individuals as Vietnamese did to rescue their country. Dear students, The Chinese reached the roots of the problems as many other countries of Asia to suffer from the same colonial legacy. They first of all overcome the lack of food. They began growing sufficient food to feed the billions of their countrymen. They planned very effective policies of agricultural communes. The low levels of nutrition is one of the biggest problems of the third world countries. It directly affects the newborn babies and the children of growing age, who ultimately carry with them their physical weaknesses and mental deformities for the rest of their lives. Strong and healthy individuals constitute a solid nation. The very serious shortcomings and flaws in the distribution of national wealth were removed, and a balance between income and consumption was kept in order to overcome the deprivation of the poor people, and equal opportunities were also provided on merit. The government provided employment, and in this regard, agricultural communes played a very vital role. Dear students, Chinese also avoid the blind expansion of the cities so that they can make their cities manageable. Dear students, economic decentralization, which is perhaps the most important step in Chinese domestic policy, has brought for China a great success in every walks of life. Dear students, GNP, stands for Gross National Produce, is the very obvious indicator which helps us to determine the economic strength of a country. Western economy based on capitalism, which weighs everything material, moral, and ethical on the scales of profit and loss. It never cares for humanity and humanism. And it gains power by means of accumulation of wealth. But Chinese rejects this economic philosophy altogether and prefers the human needs to anything, no matter how much valuable it may be. And in the words of Edgar Snow, one of the friends of Mao Zedong, he says, there are other important things in life besides an increase in GNP. Dear students, China will remain a peasant, a powerfully agricultural country even in the year 2000 without its flight from the fields, which is the price paid by the West. Dear students, in the pursuit of modernization, the West lost its agricultural life. Rural people in great number migrated to cities. As the result, European cities become overpopulated. On the other hand, China controlled its masses from migrating to cities. They achieved modernization without reducing the agricultural life. Industries were set up near the villages, and these villages are connected to the markets and the bigger cities through a network of roads. In agriculture sector, the system of communes was introduced to deal with the agricultural produce, but also to engage a large number of population by providing them employment. The students' communes execute large-scale land reclamation projects, establish hospitals, high schools and factories, and create welfare funds to help the poor communities within the commune. Dear students, the system of communes was abolished in 1983, and as a substitute, the new system of townships was introduced. Dear students, the great proletarian cultural revolution has changed the economic condition of China altogether. Dear students, the revolution came into being when Mao Zedong, the chairman of Communist Party, suspected that some party office bearers had been violating the basic principles of communism. They began inviting the capitalists on the major positions of the party. That incident took place in 1966, and the revolution process continued till 1969. Dear students, then the students also stood by the laborers, and the movement was led by the chairman of the Communist Party, Mao Zedong, himself. The peace restored with the intervention of army in 1969. Dear students, Chinese experiment proves a great success in the creation of new world. It proves the ideology of Thomas Hobbes wrong, that man's condition is the condition of war with everyone against everyone. Dear students, Thomas Hobbes wrote on the political organization of a society, and he mentioned very categorically that the man has always been at economic war. Dear students, Thomas Hobbes is also right in his ideology, and it do exist still in the world. We find men who has been at war against one another for having better economic interests and opportunities, which gave birth to the principles of might is right or survival of the fittest. But the Chinese did not accept this kind of philosophy. They believe in humanism, and they reached to the soul of the matter. As the writer says, the heart of the matter is the need to root out selfishness and bring into existence selfless, dedicated men whose happiness consists of serving their fellow men in the fullest of human humanity. Dear students, modernization should be the means of improving the life of the people, and it must be for decorating the landscape of the country. As the writer mentions in the essay, Chinese accepted modernization as a part of a process of embellishment. Embellishment means to decor something, to decorate, of the landscape development in principles, cultural life for the benefit of all instead of for the benefit of the placing the needs of man before those of machines. Dear students, Chinese achieved the glory by helping each other on humanitarian basis. Dear students, Mao's famous maxim, rely upon your own forces, means depend upon your own capabilities, resources and powers. It means those who are confident and have their belief in them need nothing to borrow from the others. The national machines and equipment are not thoroughly local. These machines and equipments have many foreign features. The national machines may replace the foreign machines which have extremely low cost manufacturing and are capable of doing great things. Dear students, that is all for today. I try my best to cover almost half of the essay. I will complete in the next week's lecture, and inshallah, by then I can hope you people must go through your lessons very religiously. Your students, don't waste your time. I thank you all. Stay home and stay safe. Thank you very much.